Hello, beach friends. If you know your Google Maps, you'll know that that's Fort Myers Beach, and we're not going to hang around here too long because today we're hanging out on the east coast of Florida. Now, it's not my regular hangout, so it's going to be very different, and I've never been to this particular part of the east coast before. Now, I had gone to Dania Beach. However, this time I wanted to go a little bit further down the beach, and that's what I did. I found this place called Pelican Pavilion, and that's literally where I set my Google Maps to go. Now, at the time, I didn't realize it was inside a state park, so I did have to pay a $4 fee to get in there, but you know what? It's totally worth it because you don't have all those hotels and condos and stuff behind you. So today, we're going to spend our time on the East Coast, which is pretty exciting, and we're going to see all sorts of different things. We're going to see some coral, which is always really cool. We will find shells that I can ID, and so I will identify all of those. And we're going to find a couple shells I was really happy to see. We're going to find a couple beans and or seeds, some sea glass, and then I'll be asking you all for a little bit of help because I'm going to find a whole bunch of shells that I'm not really sure exactly what they are. So if you're ready to enjoy the East Coast and see what all is out there for us today, let's go to the beach. Okay, I am ready to settle in and see what all is here. I've been in the car for a little while, drove across the state of Florida, and we'll start with a Bittersweet. Now, I was hoping they would be here, and at first I'm like, oh cool, a giant Bittersweet. But I don't actually think that's a giant Bittersweet. We'll see. We'll take a look at a couple more, and we will figure out what we've got. All right, so this is the same shell. Well, it's a different shell. It's the same species. I kept thinking it was a giant Bittersweet, but now I don't think so. That, it's got little tiny lines on it. It's hard to say. So, well, that is a little white shell with lines on it. I do imagine even the best shell IDer would have some trouble with some of these. That is a lady-in-waiting Venus clam. That, since I do see it often, or often enough, it's in my repertoire, it's up in my brain, but some of these aren't. So we'll just kind of go through them one by one. That, I think, is some sort of star shell. The last time I said that was a sundial is broken like that. You said it was a star shell. Is that the long spine star shell? I don't know. Now that, I'm going to give a guess on this one. I think that might be a Dosinia lucine. Maybe. Oh dear. All right, we're going to get that. A little piece of... I'm checking. Is it Seaglass or junk? I think it's junk. Oh, I see it. Oh, it's so cute. So that is an Imperial Venus clam. Oh, I just think they're the best. I don't get them on the West Coast. So I think that's super special. Super happy to see that little shell. It's also called a wedding cake shell. What's this? Yeah, that's a shell, all right. Well, it's broken. Yeah, it's a broken shell. If you have any idea what that is, it's kind of fun being out of my element, not knowing exactly. Okay, so here's another one of those whoopsie. I don't think that is a giant Bittersweet. I think that might be a wavy Bittersweet. And honestly, I didn't know there was such a thing when I went there. How fun is that? Now, what is this? Some sort of, I think it's probably a worn down leafy jewel box. So I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Oh, it's so neat. Seaglass? Why, yeah. Hot dog. All right, got some sea glass. Easy to find glass on my coast. Not easy to find it all frosted and kind of cooked like that. And, well, that's because your Atlantic kind of churns things up a lot more than the Gulf does. So came down here to take a peek. The water's nice and clear. But I'm not really seeing all that much here. It's kind of what I'm seeing up on the beach, just not a whole heck of a lot. And that's all right. Figured I'd just come down and peek. I'll periodically go down there and peek. Oh, and you know what? I picked this up and I go, is that a puka? And I looked it up, and puka in Hawaiian is a word for hole, and it refers to the naturally occurring hole in the middle of worn shells, especially cone shells. So technically that's not a puka shell, but weird. I don't know why my brain just went puka. My brain went to Hawaii, but we're in Florida. So that's the pier, that's the Dania Pier all the way up there. And I'm at the state park end of the beach because it kind of ends. Once you get to those jetties, there is then a break there. So it's a little slim. That's okay though. It's just going to make me hunt a little bit harder. Make me enjoy every little thing I find. With the exception of the garbage. I do not enjoy the garbage. I remember that from the first time I was here, but it's all right. Just going to take as much as I can off the beach. So there's another one of those bittersweets, and I'm kind of, oh man, it's got holes in it. So yeah, but from a species standpoint, I think that's probably a wavy bittersweet. Fun. I didn't know there were so many. There's quite a few different bittersweets. That is a calico scallop. Yep. One of the very common scallops. Oh, excellent. Goggles. All right, we'll get those off the beach as well. And you know what I think this is? If you were going to say queen conch, yes, I know. That's what I think that is, because it looks, those little spikes look like it might be from a queen conch, and the pink on the inside. Oh, it's so pretty. I'm keeping it. Yes, I'm keeping it. I am not leaving that little shard of a queen conch here. That will be coming home with me. Oh, look at mossy arc. I had to pick up about 100 of these before I really saw the resemblance to the turkey wing and or the red-brown arc, but that is a mossy arc. Oh, that is garbage. I'll get that off the beach. Look how pretty. So that's rose coral. Isn't that pretty? I've never found that on the West Coast. Oh, it's so pretty. Nice to see something different. Rose coral. Yeah, there is a bit of garbage, but that's good because I'll just be adding to my total. I do like to take as much garbage off the beach as I can handle. Another piece of rose coral. Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Yep, really cool. So I almost have the place to myself. It's still pretty early, to be fair. And guess what I found? Barbie approved garbage. So they're goggles with bling, but I will be removing those from the beach as well. Luckily, there isn't too much seaweed, though. I do believe that gets a little bit thicker in the summer. Oh, delightful. Somebody's sock. All right, great. We'll get that off the beach too. So I've made it as far as I can go. The two kids doing their photo shoot on the rocks. We have a gentleman doing some fishing here, and then me. So it was pretty nice. There was nobody else here. It's still pretty early, but 78 degrees out. Yeah, spring is coming, and the tide is going out. Does it help the shelling on the West Coast if the tide is out? I don't really know, but I timed my trip like that anyway. Yeah, there's still just not a whole lot in the water. What are you going to do, all right? I'll just keep checking. Back up on the beach. At least I seem to be finding a couple of things up on the beach, so that's good. Oh, I would know you anywhere. That is a calico clam. I know that shape. The pattern on it is very, very light, but that is a calico clam. And, oh, a sundial. Woohoo! Oh, I've never found one. So this is a first for me. That's a common sundial. Isn't it beautiful? So I really do not get those on my coast, on the West Coast. That's so exciting. So yeah, that is a common sundial. I am definitely, that's going to go in my special box of goodies. Oh, that was exciting. All right, what else? And I guess that's what makes the East Coast a little exciting, because there's just things that you cannot get on my coast. Of course, it's vice versa, but I'm excited. What else is here? What else that we've never seen before? All right, I do think that I get this on my coast. I think that's a Pennsylvania Lucine. It's nice what the Atlantic does. It really smooths the shells out. Oh, it's so pretty. So that's what I think that's what that is. Pennsylvania Lucine. Oh man, that is cool. So I'm gonna go with some sort of jewel box. Apparently there's a jewel box called a pretty jewel box. Maybe that's what that is. It kind of looks like a leafy jewel box. This is a corrugate jewel box. Love that color. These look like they're just like misshapen. Like halfway through the shell making process, the snail just kind of gave up. But that's a corrugate jewel box. And I wanted to tell you a new trick I found. Overnight's oatmeal. I made it the night before. I threw some frozen strawberries in there. So yeah, I just wanted to share that little trick with you. That's my breakfast today. And also this particular state park happens to be really, really close to the Fort Lauderdale Airport. So you will hear airplanes from time to time. In addition to seeing a little bit of garbage. A turkey wing. Oh, it's so cute. It's really well formed. Like it's actually like, it looks like wings. So that's a little tiny turkey wing. Oh, that's fabulous. Yeah, that's a great little shell. Little turkey wing. Oh, that's pretty. Yeah, so that is a rough scallop. I was kind of hoping for one of the little more fancier scallops that you can get over on this coast, but that's beautiful. It's a rough scallop. What are you, fun little thing? I don't know. I know, man. Jewel box? I don't know. It's neat though. So is it a juvenile leafy jewel box? Maybe. I know, I still think it's kind of neat. And, oh, yeah, I'm going to go with, yeah, I don't know. Probably a jewel box of some sort. It sort of kind of looks leafy. I just don't find enough of them to really know. Now, I have found at least one of these. That is a hamburger bean, and that is a seed from a vine that grows in the rainforest. Now, it does happen to have a toxin in it, but just imagine that that little bean came from a rainforest way out there and made its way all the way over to the beach here. Now, because of that toxin in it, not a lot of critters eat those beans, and that's why they managed to make their way onto the coast of Florida. Pretty cool if you ask me. So I'm back in the water again, hoping that maybe, no. All right, that's fine. I'm just going to keep at it. You can't keep me away from the water. I do want to find the shells, but I'm really kind of hoping there'll be something special down there. Now, that is a shell, and it looks like a piece of plastic. It's so worn down. I just thought that was really neat. There's another one of those, I believe, wavy bittersweet. That is a neat little hardy shell. I could just go with bittersweet and be okay, but I do think it's probably a wavy bittersweet. Oh, another mystery. What are you, delightful stacked shell? Jewel box. This one's a little different, but I can't tell because I don't find them enough to really understand if it's anomalies or, yeah, that was bothering me. Yeah, I don't know if that was bothering you, but I couldn't stand that. So yeah, I'm busy picking up garbage along the way. What do we got? All right, now that is actually a giant bittersweet. That, I think that's Pennsylvania Lucine, maybe, sort of, kind of. And you know what? I'm surprised that I did not find a lot of the spectral bittersweet. So that's a little tiny piece of lettered olive. They definitely don't hold up over here the way they do on my coast. Oh, you're a nice frond oyster. I was thinking about the first time I found a piece of that. Actually, it was on Captiva. I remember it was a piece. It was weird. I'm like, what is that? So you go down that shell rabbit hole. I went down that rabbit hole a lot with this video, looking at different stuff. Yeah, I think that's a wavy bittersweet. That is definitely a third pair of goggles today. Okay, so that is also going to go into my garbage bag, and that will come off the beach. Now, as I'm trying to figure out what that shell is, I would invite you, if you like this kind of content, to like this video, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. And if you are already one of my subscribers, please check. Someone told me that they had to like hunt my videos down. They are subscribed with their notifications and everything, and they couldn't find me. So just a little reminder that you might want to go check. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Look at that. I can't believe that something squishy that is in between that made that. Like it's the nature's ombre, that yellow to that orange color. I'm just marveling at the color. I mean, I never realized there's like beach stuff on it, but wow. I don't even care what it is. And it's probably some sort of oyster. Oh, it's gorgeous though. Beautiful, beautiful seashell. And I just wanted to give you an update. Breakfast was delicious. I never tried it before. So it's just your cold oats. I threw frozen strawberries in there. They melted. By the time I ate it, it was awesome. Overnight oats. That's a really healthy thing for you to bring on your little walk. Now, this fun thing, this is a star nut palm seed. I thought it was beautiful, and I was really happy I was able to ID it. Apparently you can shine that up and people would use that to make jewelry. Oh, isn't it neat? And then this guy, I don't know, Gus, I'm guessing, a sea coconut? That I don't know. Wasn't quite as interesting. Wasn't really, it's kind of hairy, not really, I don't know what that is. Maybe a sea coconut, perhaps. If not, it's some sort of like seed of sorts. All right, this I do know, it's a mixed bag today. That is a red-brown arc. So that is something I find on both coasts. And that's really the thing. If I'm IDing it really quick, it's because I already find it on the West Coast. Some of those things over here, that is a calico clam. We found a little one, didn't really have much of a pattern on it. This, we can see the pattern. It's a little bit lighter than it could be, but that is a calico clam. Nice to see a familiar shell. What? Oh, it's got the ombre again. And look at those. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh, what is that? I don't know. Jewel box, leafy jewel. I don't know. Oh, it's so cool. Now, I'm guessing, I think that's a comb bittersweet. So if I were to find them as regularly as I do some of the other shells, I would know, but I just don't see some of these shells as often. So IDing them is a little trickier for me. That's a kitten paw for certain. Unfortunately, it's not a lion's paw. It's not even like a little lion's paw. That is a kitten's paw. Much, much easier to find those kitten paws. So I saw this blue blob, obviously, and I think that that's probably a man-o-war. Now, don't touch that. I will tell you, I'm touching nothing on this coast. I had seen a man-o-war, strangely enough, at Dania Beach the last time I came here. As you can tell, it was inflated. You cannot, once these guys are on the beach, that's it. They're done. And don't touch it. I wouldn't even consider touching that. So yeah, I won't be touching even that dead one. If there were tentacles and you stepped on it, you can still get stung. Like, they are nasty. Oh, yeah, it's probably, yeah, the fly is an indication it's probably dead. So that's what I think that is anyway. What's this? I think another wavy bittersweet. So yeah, the things you find on the beach. And again, since I'm not as familiar with things over here, I'm not going to touch anything that I don't know what it is. Delightful Seaglass. It's actually all frosted and cooked. Fantastic. Yep, very different than the beaches I'm normally on. A spiny jewel box. So that too is a jewel box. I guess I find those on the regular pretty much every time I go out shelling. So that is a spiny jewel box. Very nice. And I think that's another piece of rose coral. That's pretty fun. And the reason I'm able to kind of ID that is because I've got two pretty good books. For the most part, my go-to book is that one, Florida's Living Beaches. Then my second book, which really came in handy today, is Bivalve Seashells of Florida. So these are my two go-to books. I do have links in the description box below. There's a little piece of sea glass, and wow, there's been so many fun things, but I'm going to be quiet and allow you to enjoy some beach time. Well, what's this? A little heart-shaped something. I think it's organic. It looks like a rock. I don't think it's a piece of shell or anything, but because it was in the shape of a heart, I just thought that was so cute. Yep, you're gonna come home with me too. The treasures you find at the beach. So I think that that is another one. I'm super happy. Yay! But I think it's another one of those wavy bittersweets. They reminded me of like cows. I don't know, the markings on them. Neat. Neat shells. Okay, two more bittersweets. I think the one on the left is a comb bittersweet, and then we have that wavy bittersweet on the right. And it's, I wish there were more shells. It's probably the sheller's mantra. Wish there was more shells, especially here on the East Coast. But, you know, I'm still finding a lot of really fun stuff. That coral was kind of cool. All right, let's check out the water once again. Yeah, definitely more of a challenge shelling over here. Wait a minute. I do see something right there. All right, let's see. Finally. And what do we got? Oh, it's another one of those cool jewel boxes, all layered and smushed and neato. Yeah. Oh, look at the color. I'm kind of, oh, wow. Even the underside is really cool. I'm kind of bummed it has all that other like beach stuff on it. What are you going to do? All right, well, where there's one, there could be more, right? So that's what I'm doing at this point. I said, okay, well, I found one smushed jewel box of sorts. Perhaps there is something else here. Doesn't seem to be really working out that way. And you know what? Shelling in the water in the East Coast, oh, wait, I do see something, is way more challenging than on the West Coast. The sand is very soft here, and you kind of slide around a lot more. Oh, look at that. Probably a piece of one of those oysters. The thorny oyster or, oh, that's so cool. I love the color. And I know it's broken. I'm going to keep it anyway. my little souvenir from something I managed to get from the water. At least it's nice and clear. The problem being just the lack of stuff in there. So for the most part, like I go down there. It's, what do I call it? I call it an exercise in frustration. Okay, no shells there. Let's back up on the beach. And then there's more shells. And, you know, it's okay that a lot of them seem to be the same, that wavy bittersweet, and that's okay. At least there's something. That's actually a really nice one. Now look, another, yeah. Holstein cow? What kind of cow is that reminding me of? I don't know. Dairy cow? I don't know, but just kind of neat. Those wavy bittersweet clams. Oh, hi. It's like an old friend. I think it's albinistic. This is a Florida prickly cockle. It doesn't have that beautiful sherbet interior, but that's okay because it's kind of the opposite. Like it has almost no color. Really pretty. Florida prickly cockle. Oh, there's a spectral bittersweet. Usually when I come over to the East Coast, they're all over the place. I was kind of bummed there weren't more of them, but that is a spectral bittersweet. They look like that candy. Check this out. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's so cool. It's not, so there's the Imperial Venus clam. There's a King Venus clam. It's not it's not even close to one of those. Oh, it's so cool. What is that? That's Seaglass. And it's cooked too, which is, again, kind of nice. I forgot I can maybe come over here. I know I've been kind of complaining about the garbage, but at least some of it is Seaglass. So that's fun. And different colors too. Cool. Wow. You know what that is? That is a piece of a flat. I think they're a zigzag. Yeah, that's going to be a zigzag. Oh, that's neat. The zigzag scallop. Yeah, well, it's just a piece. It's actually been a really long time since I have found one of those seashells. They're rather rare. In my opinion, they're rather desirable. Oh, good, another bittersweet. Yay. So pieces of this and that. Oh, cool. It's not blue, but at least it's a little bit different of a color of Seaglass. I know that the blue is rare. That's pretty. That's like an aquamarine or light green. Still kind of cool. Another wavy bittersweet. Well, at least I got to learn about them. I honestly really just thought there was the spectral and the giant bittersweet. I didn't realize that there was a couple different kinds. That I didn't know what it was, and so I took something else. I wasn't sure. It could have been a jelly kind of thing. I never know. So that's just garbage. But I just wanted to be sure. I'm not going to touch anything over here that I don't know what it is. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That I do believe. I'm going to go with about 50% certainty. I'm 50% sure that that's a beautiful crassatella. That's why it gets a question mark. I think that's what that is. So my goal today was to see different things. And from that standpoint, I'm going to have to say mission accomplished. I got to see different sand, different beach, different ocean. So I am appreciating all the different things that I'm getting to see today. It just kind of resets me, because then I'm going to go back to the West Coast and be delighted with all the different things that are there. It's been kind of a slow winter. We're going to have to just kind of see what happens. All right, what am I chasing? A little piece of, yeah, probably a thorny oyster. Cool. I love the color. Oh, man. Yeah. Gorgeous. Gorgeous shells. Totally different. Super fun. And at this point, I was looking out and I saw the difference of the color of the water. And I thought, is there like a drop off there? Probably the water is, not too deep, and then all of a sudden it gets just a little bit deeper out there, and that's just very different from what I'm used to. We have very shallow water for a very, actually hundreds of miles. Look at that! Oh, that is so cool. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I don't know what it is. I know it's got some of that other beach stuff on it, which I don't think will come off. Yep, I do think a jewel box of some sort. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, and another spectral bittersweet. So those are little candy pieces of seashells I was kind of hoping to see. It's okay. Got to see the wavy bittersweet. Also a little spectral bittersweet. And I'm going to guess that is another piece of rose coral. That's what I think that is. So pretty. Yeah, the corals that you can get over here. I got so many cool corals today. And is that coral? I think so. So I will be holding on to that. Yeah, so again, mission was to see different stuff. Mission accomplished. Hello, limpet. I'm not exactly sure what kind of limpet you are, but other than being fabulous. So you are a fabulous limpet. It is so interesting how different beachcombing is on the West Coast than it is from the East Coast. This particular beach, like I had just mentioned, the sand is kind of deep, it's slippery, it's more of a slope than our gentle, very even flat beaches on the West Coast, at least in Southwest Florida. But it's still really fun, totally different kind of treasures. And so, yes, I did manage to take a few things off the beach, even if it was kind of pretty garbage. So I got 11.45 ounces today. So in total, I've managed to remove 46.454 pounds from the beach. Every ounce really does help. It all kind of adds up. So here's the goodies I found today. Lots of fun corals. I love the rose coral. That's kind of new to me. And then some jewel boxes of some sort, a bunch of things I cannot identify. Perhaps they're all the same thing and they just look all different. I don't know. Did get a couple of the scallops. even including the beautiful crassatella, those wavy bittersweets. So they did show up. I did get a couple of those giant bittersweets, and there was some actual Seaglass. That was kind of fun. Some of those comb bittersweets, the spectral bittersweets. I think the Pennsylvania Lucine, the spiny jewel box, the calico coral, Florida prickly cockle, mossy arc, red brown arc, turkey wing, frond oyster. There was lady in waiting Venus clams. Some of the beans, the hamburger bean was really cool. And then my favorites were the imperial Venus clam. That sundial, for me, that was so cool. The little heart thing, the queen conch, and then all the little mystery things. That was really fun. I wish the East Coast was closer. Would Florida be skinnier? I should just be careful what I wish for. Patreons, thank you. Thank you for monetarily supporting me and helping me pay for the tolls and the gas and the new tires on my car and all the other stuff that goes along with kind of going out and recording stuff like this. So thank you so very much for your support. And everybody else, thank you so very much as well, especially for all the birthday wishes last week. Next week, we're going to Sanibel. We had some winds come through. I was really hoping for a good haul. I went out there at 5 o'clock in the morning. So hope you have a good week, and I will see you next Sunday.